Hello guys, what's up everybody? How are you doing? I hope you're doing fine. It's your girl Emily back with another interesting and amazing video. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing to anyone that has subscribed. And if you're watching, you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing so that we can get to these 1,000 subscribers as soon as possible. I know we can, and I know we will do this. We get to this 1,000 subscribers. So, guys, subscribe now before we continue. So, guys, for today's video, it will just be us talking, conversing, and I will be telling you about things I wish I knew before moving to the UK. For anyone who doesn't know where I come from, I'm a girl from Kenya. I'm a Kenyan girl. So, guys, today I'll be telling you or taking you through all of that, challenges I faced during my first phase in UK and all that, things that I wish I knew before actually traveling and all of that. So, let's jump into this. Yeah. So, the first thing that I will be talking about is when it comes to hospital. So back in Kenya, I was used to whereby in a system whereby if I wake up and I'm not feeling well, I'll just be in a position to walk in any hospital without having to book any appointments and all that. I'll just walk in and I'll be treated. I'll be given all the services. It doesn't matter which hospital. I'll just walk in into any. So that was a system that I was used to since I was young. So when I came to this country, and the system was a bit different, whereby if you want to, if you're unwell and you need to see a doctor, first when you come, you have to register to a GP, you have to register to your own GP. So anytime you're unwell, before even walking like to the GP, you have to call the GP first and explain what's happening, how you're feeling, and then they will guide you. If you need to go in, they'll give you appointment. If you like, if they feel that you there is a need for you to go in, or if they feel like it's a case where you need to go to another hospital, then they will refer you. They will book appointment for you in the other hospital where you need to visit. So like there is a process. You can't just wake up and walk in into any hospital anyhow how you feel. The only way that you can like walk in any hospital that you feel like is when there is emergency, like you're going in an ambulance, that's when you can just like walk in any hospital. But if that's not the case, you have to call first, book appointment before like actually going to the hospital. In which the appointment can take time because you'll not be given like appointment the next day. You can even have to wait for even 3 days before getting appointment. It's that serious. So I was not used to all of that. So moving on to the next thing is when it comes to shopping, especially for my vegetables. I was used to buying like vegetables like in small shops. Like if I go outside my house, I'll find so many small shops or rather small kiosks whereby they sell the fresh vegetables. In Kenya, we call them the mama mboga. You find a mama mboga there with selling all the vegetables. And if you want her to chop the vegetables for you, they will do that quickly. And then you'll just buy your vegetables, go home, especially if you're a working person. You don't have to go and waste time, like chopping your own vegetables. The mama mbogas there, they can do that for you. It was very easy, convenient, unlike here. If I want to buy my specific vegetables, I'll just not walk into any shop. That's another thing. There is specific shops that I have to go to so that I can get the vegetables that I want. Or when it comes to the African foods, if I want African food, I'll have to go to a African shop so that I can get that African food. So I can't just walk in any shop. So, and when it comes to meat as well, during the first times, I used to feel like I never liked meat from the supermarket. The taste, it's not that good. In Kenya, I was used to a system whereby If it's meat, the meat was fresh, and you just go to a butcher, you find that, oh, it's a cow that was slaughtered maybe in the morning, so the meat is fresh and the best meat you will ever have. So unlike here, the foods are frozen. So that taste, I think when foods are frozen, the taste, it takes the taste away when they're frozen for a long time. Yeah, so that was another challenge, but I came to discover like these Asian shops where I go buy my meat now, the meat that I want, which is a bit better than the meat in the supermarket. So moving on to the next thing I'll talk about is when it comes to weather. Like at the minute we are on summertime. So when I came to this country, it was summer. So I was lucky to find summer. I didn't just come in winter time because you have to be. I believe you have to be in this country. You have to be prepared to face the winter period. So I was lucky to come during summer. I got to enjoy the weather. So it was some days it was too warm. The warmth was a bit uncomfortable, but we have those days the weather was so good that everyone enjoyed the weather. You find that in this country during summer times we have people that faint because of the weather, especially when the temperatures are too high. We find people who are fainting and all that, but that problem doesn't affect Africans mostly. It affects the white people mostly, because Africans were used to the warm weather back in our homes, so it never affects us that much. So like during winter it was a bit challenge for me because having to stay in a long period of time with cold weather was something that I was not used to. Uh, so you find in this country like you stay in your jackets every time during winter time because it's too cold and you don't even want to visit places when it's uh, winter time. You just want anytime that you're not working or you're not maybe going to school or doing something that needs to be done outside. You just want to remain in your house, have a hot cup of tea or coffee, just stay home. That's the bad thing about that, which I think it affects people when it comes to social life as well, because you will not be visiting people. No one wants visitors during winter time. Everyone, it's just a boring time, and I think it's the longest like period of time in this country, so you can imagine. That's why during summer everyone is excited. Oh, it's summer, let's do this and that, let's go for the barbecues and all of that. Yeah, then moving on to the next thing, guys, I'll be talking about transport. Well, in Kenya is used to transport where the matatus, those you just walk in any matatu. When it comes to paying for a transport fare, you just give in to a conductor who will come in the car, and then as you move on, I'll pick your money and all that. It was a bit, but I can say when it comes to transport, I prefer transport in UK. It's a bit organized and convenient because buses, our trams, our trains, they have a space. They work with time, so if you can easily plan your journey if you want to go somewhere. And like in back at home where like you can't plan your journey because you have to go to a bus stop and wait for that bus. Like people have to be uh, full in the bus. Like they will make sure the bus is full before they can go, so you can that can affect your journey, especially maybe you're going to for maybe a job interview and then you're on a bus and it's taking the whole time, so you will not plan your journey. So that's something that when I came here, oh, I loved it. Even though it took time for me to get used to everything, especially with the buying tickets of the trams, how to book a train and buy tickets, catching buses. It took a while for me. Yeah, the first I used to be a bit nervous to go different places because I used to feel like, oh, I will get lost. And the nervousness whereby and no one everyone looks like and they seem to be knowing where they're going, then you're the only one who is looking around and feeling like, oh gosh, I don't want to go anywhere new because I know I'll get lost. So today, like these days, I'm used to all of that. I can just go anywhere because I've learned to use my like Google Map very well, and know the buses, how the buses are operating, how the trams are operating, the trains, and all of that. So yeah, that's another thing that maybe if I knew about it when I was in Kenya, I would be a bit prepared mentally, and it will be a bit easier for me when I came in. Moving on to the next thing I'll be talking about is in this country, when it comes to driving in this country, buying a car. I've discovered in this country you can easily buy a car. You can like buy a car for yourself because in this country, buying a car is not, I would say, is a necessity. It's not for luxury and all that. Like in back at home, if you have a car, oh, that means you're maybe rich. People will think that, oh, you got the money and all that. In this country, it's different. A car is a necessity. You need it, like especially during winter time. You don't want to be or Sundays where the buses take a longer time to move and all of that. You will need it to be moving from one place to another. It's a necessity. But when it comes to getting driving license in this country, oh my God, it's it's hell. I will say that because I remember when I was in Kenya, I have my Kenyan driving license, but the way I got it, it was so quick, and then it's like I didn't learn anything, to be honest. So I can say in Kenya you can easily get driving license. People get driving license without even doing the exams. In this country, you will not, there is nothing like that. You have to start with your theory, do your theory, learn your theory, and go do the theory. And when doing the theory, it's not like you will go in there, it's like a national exam. So it's not easy, like you have to go through that process. And then when you're done with your theory, go into your practical, whereby you have to pay for classes first, which are a bit, some instructors can be a bit expensive, but you have to pay for that because you have no choice. And then go to the driving test, which if you do a mistake, one mistake can make you fail. They don't joke. There is no corruption. There is no fishy things uh, that you can do. Like it's that difficult. So I believe in when it comes to UK, getting a driving license is the hardest thing. But driving in UK is the best thing. It's better than driving in Kenya because you find like in Kenya we have so many rough drivers, especially the matatu drivers. And like here you have to follow the rules, you have to follow the speed limits. Otherwise the camera will just capture you. And the next thing that you get is a ticket in your house. And then you don't want to be paying tickets, £100, £50, like for tickets because of a mistake that you can avoid, if you know what I mean. Yeah, so that's another thing that maybe when if I was informed when I was in Kenya, I would be prepared mentally. Maybe I would do more driving practicals when I was in Kenya, where it was a bit easier and all that. So another thing that when I came to this country that I discovered, and it was a bit, it was the cost of living. Cost of living in UK, it's not a joke. It's very expensive. And you will not get to understand how expensive it is until you come to the country. Because if you are in Kenya, you think that, oh, people that are outside the country or people are abroad in UK, US, they have money. But no, that's not the case. To have that money, you will work hard. And in working hard, you will pay taxes, you will pay your car insurance, road tax, and everything. You will pay your rent, and inside the rent, you will pay a council tax, and you will have other bills like the gas bill, electricity, water bills. So life is very expensive. Don't forget that you've not even like done your house shopping. So I life was it's a bit like the first few days I also feel like everything, there is this to pay, there is that to pay, and you cannot avoid anything. Like, you cannot be sneaky and say, oh, I will not pay this, I will not pay that. Everything you will pay. And if you don't pay, sooner or later, they will catch up with you and it will be worse. So you have to pay in time. It's because if you fail to pay like in time, your money, they will increase your money. So when you're coming to pay the other time, you'll pay even more. So that's another thing uh, I learned when it comes to this country. And then I'll be finalizing because I'm rushing somewhere. And the other thing that I came to learn when I came to this country is, this is especially for the girls or rather for the women, is when it comes to doing your hair. This country, there is nothing expensive like your hair. There is nothing expensive like when it comes to your dressing. Comes to your dressing because when during different periods of like weather seasons, you find that you're dressing different. So if during this summer you buy specific summer wears, you will not want to. Then you face winter, so you will not be wearing the summer wears. So the next summer you will not want to go back to the same clothes because you feel like, oh, they have just been there. So you know the feeling. Anyone can understand this feeling. So it becomes like buying clothes is something that you will be doing every time, every time. You never get enough of doing that. And I feel it's a bit expensive, and you keep stocking so many clothes in your like closet. Or but another thing in this country that they have done good is that you can give out to charity. So you just keep giving clothes, giving shoes, and all that. It's not bad to give, but you see, you using a lot of money to buy all of that. And like in Kenya, the weather seasons are almost the same. So if you do a good shopping of your uh, clothes, you can take you for a long period of time before you decide like you're no longer using them. Yeah, so guys, having said that, I would like to wrap this video here. So I'll see you on the next video. Please don't forget to subscribe if you have not subscribed. I'll be giving you more of me, more of UK, more of job opportunities, more of everything good that I know is going to benefit you. So guys, until next time, I'll see you. Make sure you take care. Mwah, mwah, mwah. See you guys. Don't forget to subscribe.